Tonight on Maui Chopper.
Okay, everyone's over the fire.
The entire Windward fleet battles a dangerous blaze.
We got some pretty heavy flame building.
Don't tell me that kind of I'm gonna freak out.
Son of a...
Then, a new pilot tries to make the cut.
I'm gonna fly away for a second. I can't.
And later,
Be careful, this stuff that's coming off.
No margin for error. If there's an error with the helicopter, we're on the front page of the paper.
It's about 1.5 acres in size. Access is a little difficult for the engines. My name is Gus Lapthorne. I've been flying exactly 30 years. A brush fire that's wind-driven, something that can spread real fast, get out of control pretty quickly. My dad encouraged me to join the Army and learn how to fly helicopters, and that's exactly what I did.
Dispatch, Air One's en route.
Air 1, 10 at 1445.
Hawaii can be a very dangerous place.
Okay, Air One's over the fire.
It's critical with a fire to respond to it quickly before it gets so large that you can no longer control it.
We got some pretty heavy flame building. This thing's going to be a difficult one to catch here. We've got a lot of work to do here. Right over here.
Air One spots a reservoir half a mile from the fire.
Dispatch, this is engine 12. We have no access to the fire on the ground yet.
Air 1, Air 2 will be available shortly. You think you'll be able to handle it, or we should get him rolling your way?
Access is a real problem. They do not have access to it on the ground here. I'd go ahead and have Air 2 activate.
C1 copy.
Back at Windward, Chief Pilot Pete is ready to take off with Air 2.
With the wind-driven fires, speed is of the essence to get as much equipment on it as we can quickly. It's the initial response that's really critical.
Alrighty, Gus, I'm on my way, Val.
Okay.
Gus has now been fighting the blaze without the help of ground crews for over half an hour.
Gus, I'm inbound to you.
Okay, Pete, there's a water source right above the fire, maybe a half mile away. There's power lines on the north side, so be aware of that. It's getting ready to go down into a ravine, then it's going to start running up to the road there and power lines.
If the fire reaches the road and hits additional power lines, it would double in size within seconds.
Right behind you.
This is a weird fire, boy. It just keeps shifting direction. It's going to be a tough fire to catch right now.
Pete will have to quickly fill his bucket and join the firefight.
Son of a...
But Air 2 has a problem. Up next, the problems continue.
Something's wrong with my plug on this bucket.
And Gus struggles to fight the blaze on his own.
On the way to the fire here, we got some heavier smoke.
Downed power lines have caused a brush fire in the remote area of Kula.
It's getting ready to start running up to the road there.
Rough terrain is preventing ground units from reaching the flames. Air 2 pilot Pete has just arrived, but he's got a problem.
Son of a...
soon as I put tension on the line, it doesn't want to work. So there's got to be a loose connection somewhere in the line.
As the fire spreads, Pete is forced to land Air 2 to fix the malfunctioning bucket.
Hey, Pete, I'm going to move over to the valley side of that fire to keep it from getting into that ravine.
Something's on with my plug on this bucket.
With the fire burning out of control, owner and lead pilot Don leaves a mission on the other side of the island.
Did you get there yet, Pete?
Yeah, he's here, Don. He looks like he's outside the aircraft. He's having a problem with the bucket.
Don't tell me that kind of I'm going to freak out.
I'm just going to get another bucket. I'm not going to mess with this thing here.
Pete, leave that bucket. Maybe I can look on it while you're en route to get another one.
Pete's bucket failed. Now he's got to leave the fire, fly all the way back to the hangar. I got a little excited at that point, concentrated on where my efforts needed to be placed to prevent it from blowing up in our face.
Gus, I'm going to land and see if I can fix Pete's bucket and get over here and give you a hand.
Yeah, it looks like just on the way to the fire here. We got some heavier smoke coming up now.
Gus's mannerisms never change. He doesn't get riled. That's actually a quality I wish I had. You know, because I'm a very excitable person, and Gus isn't. That's a great quality in a pilot.
After 30 minutes, Gus is still the only rescue chopper fighting the blaze.
We got a little flame down there. We'll get that. I got firefighters underneath me here.
Ground crews have hiked through harsh terrain and established contact with the flames. At the Windward base, Pete rigs a new bucket onto Rescue 2.
Things fail, things break. Those types of situations happen.
I'm about 3 minutes out, Gus.
We depend a lot on the maintenance guys. We trust our lives with numerous people.
Get that thing to work, Don?
I'm going to find out right now. Back already, huh?
I'm in here. All right, it works.
Still plenty of fire for you, Pete.
Don lifts off with Pete's bucket,
This one's working for me, so I don't know what to say.
but the fire is still gaining momentum.
Anybody at the office?
Go ahead, Doc.
Bring the buckets, bring the fuel.
Okay, will do.
Windward President Donna will bring the mobile fuel unit to the scene.
We both take care of whatever aspect of the business we need to take care of.
There's power line down. That's what caused this.
The wind's way up, and there's a lot of unburned fuels for that fire to go. It's hard to catch unless you got a lot of support.
It just keeps going, you know? We need fuel, so I'm going to bring up extra buckets in case they need to change out or something, instead of spending the time to repair it.
Really be careful with this. Any depth perception on those fire lines.
When you look at accidents involving helicopters, the majority of those accidents by far are the result of pilots making poor decisions with the aircraft.
One of the difficulties is just being able to see the fire coming in on it.
We're always flying in close proximity to the ground. We need to be aware of where the wires are. You go in, you get your job done quickly, and then you get yourself back out as soon as possible.
Should I just park here and then refuel on the road? That curve that's right in front of you, it looks like a pretty good spot right there.
The three pilots have been dousing the runaway flames for 2 hours.
I'm thinking we need another cactus drop.
With Windward's help, ground crews attempt to build a fire line around the blaze.
Fire department really counts on us to not only help get the fire out, but help lead them to the fire.
Nice one. Nice.
Okay, that was a good drop.
With the choppers running low on fuel,
I'm gonna land over here by our truck. I'll land off the road though.
the Windward Aviation teamwork continues as Don lands his chopper to help refuel Gus.
I'll fuel you when you come in.
Okay, boss, Bear One's gonna do one more drop, and I'm gonna land and get some fuel.
We almost got this thing.
Air One rescue pilot Gus lands on a narrow road to quickly refuel.
For hot refueling, we don't shut the aircraft down. We land, keep the engines running, and refuel the aircraft.
There isn't a person in this company that wouldn't jump in and help anybody with their job in any way that they can.
As soon as it's done, we roll the throttles up, and we're back in the air quickly.
Air 1 from Blue, come in.
Go ahead, Air One.
Air 1, checking the status of the fire.
Right now, you have really no active flame on it, just some hot spots there on the perimeter that we're working on.
The crew of Windward Aviation has successfully smothered a raging brush fire.
Well under control here. It's just mop up now.
It's kind of becoming a non-event very quickly.
Okay, boss, Air One, responding back to the airport.
I'll follow you, Gus. Well, another fun day.
Up next, the Windward crew's dangerous mission to move an entire house.
If something would really happen with this machine coming through the trees, there's nowhere for me to go.
And later, a potential pilot gets a windy introduction to flying on Maui.
No, I wouldn't turn my nose left.
Where's that wind coming from? Hi, Tower. Good morning. Air 2, like a southeast departure.
Here in Hawaii, each operation is different. Today, I'm moving the whole house that was shipped here. It's all in pieces. We have to lift it up, put it down into this ravine where they want the house.
We're going to do a lift work down here in a gulch to move a house.
Good morning. If you guys hear a couple blasts of the siren like this, look up to me, see what's going on. It needs to be hooked, unhooked, or something. If you hear, get the hell out of the way. If something would really happen with this machine and I would have some major mechanical, I'm coming through the trees. There's nowhere for me to go.
If the engine fails while in a hover, the chopper will immediately drop towards the ground.
It would be really, really bad. It would happen so quickly, even from 200 foot. If the thing would quit, the helicopter would be right down on top of you that fast. So get underneath something so you don't have this thing coming down on top of you. And then get me out of there. It's all about being efficient and being careful, making sure everybody's on the same page, and just get these loads in as quickly as we can back and forth.
All righty, Bob, here we go. Let's get this thing rolling. Yeah, Pete, go easy with this one. Kind of open in the center, yeah?
With guys underneath me, you got to be really careful to make sure I don't have something break off the trees and come down on top of them.
Be careful of some of this stuff that's coming off.
Those beams, they're smooth, and the straps don't really get a good grip on them. It can shift and slide out, and that'd be bad news for someone under. So no margin for error. If there's an error with the helicopter, we're on the front page of the paper the next day. We don't want that.
Pete and the ground crew work carefully to transfer as many loads as they can before the afternoon winds kick in.
Hey, Pete, let me get your net. Hold on.
In a split second, Philippe barely avoids injury.
We just pay attention all the time. Clear.
Yeah, watch this one, Philippe. It's getting kind of stupid on me the way it's flying. Yeah, we definitely have a little more wind now. It's really windy at this spot. It definitely takes a little bit of practice and patience. That's a very large piece of wood that Mr. Wind really wants to play with. Okay, I can't see you at all here, so.
Down. Down, down, down. Okay, down, perfect.
Okay, that's it, guys. That's a hell of a job.
Nothing fell off. It's ready to build. And we're out of here. We're done.
After safely completing his mission, Chief Pilot Pete assigns experienced veteran Gus the task of testing out Desiree Horton, who's auditioning to replace a departing pilot.
One of the things we try and do with potential pilots is we allow them to fly here a little bit and see what kind of conditions we fly in. It gives us an opportunity to assess their skills.
Tower 1 Whiskey Alpha is now on the go.
I came out here to basically check out the island. You could have all the experience flying in the mountains and the winds in the world, and you come here and it's completely different.
You're getting around the mountains right now, so we're going to start picking up some turbulence around here.
Guys, slow down a little bit, because I'm not going to want to make a turn downwind in here.
You're into the wind now.
Gus takes Desiree to one of the windiest peaks on the island.
I'll show you a really cool spot. You like it?
And asks her to land the chopper on the small patch of ground at the very top.
Are we going to actually put the skids down here?
We are.
Getting a pretty strong crosswind off my left side. Let's, can I?
No, I wouldn't turn my nose left.
Where's that wind coming from?
It's just swirling up here. Just turn your nose to the right.
That's the wind, holy cow.
Yeah, you don't want to land right here. You got a good slope to your left.
To my left? I'm going to fly away for a second. I can't.
Up next, things don't get any easier for Desiree.
I don't know if I'm comfortable.
Your angle of approach is too steep.
And Gus has to step in.
I have the controls.
Desiree is trying to stick a tough landing on top of one of Maui's windiest peaks.
I wouldn't turn my nose left.
I can't tell if that was you or that was the wind.
That wasn't me.
Gus is telling me keep the nose into the wind. I'm like, but where is it coming from? It's coming from every direction.
She circles around and takes a second approach.
Gus took me to the windiest spot on the island and said, all right, land there. I could feel the wind coming through the door just hitting me in the face. And that was really cool. That was a good experience.
But the test is just beginning.
Let's kind of hit that direction. The terrain gets really tight. It's very steep.
I'm afraid if I have to come to a stop and pull in a lot of power,
No, we don't want to come to a stop. We want to keep going forward. I would rather, if we need to, just go to the ground.
Okay.
You've got canyon on each side of you. We're maybe 25 feet from the side of the wall here or less. And if the wind blows you into the wall, it's all over.
You could go all the way down to that little grass spot if you wanted to.
I think I'm ready to leave.
Okay, I'm going to take you to a cabin down here, and we're going to land at that.
The spot Gus has pointed out is just big enough to land on.
Do you want me coming in there with airspeed?
Just adjust your airspeed and altitude as you see fit there for the area.
It's okay if I slow up?
No, let's keep going. Airspeed's critical. What you do is you shoot an approach to the lawn on this side of the cabin.
Okay. Still not setting up the way I would have liked to. I should come in a lot shallower, shouldn't I?
Your angle of approach is too steep for the winds here.
Okay.
I have the controls.
Okay, you've got the controls.
Let me show you how I do it.
That approach, that cabin, it was uncomfortable for me to come in there with a lot of airspeed.
I was able to assess my power coming in.
Once I saw Gus do it, then I knew, all right, it could be done.
Okay, your controls. Try that one more time.
I don't know if I'm comfortable coming in that fast. Just feels wrong.
That's very nice. Okay, that's good.
Had Gus not been there, I don't know if I'd have fly in there. I'm not sure.
Back at Windward, Desiree is grateful for the experience, but now knows that flying on the island full-time is not for her.
Even if I'd been flying out here for a year and I knew the whole island and the winds and the weather and how it changes, I would never feel completely comfortable.
Fear and excitement at the same time. It's really hard to explain. You know, you get a little fearful, but it's so beautiful in there and so amazing to think that you're actually flying a helicopter in these spots that, you know, possibly birds wouldn't even fly into because it's too turbulent for them. It's pretty cool.
I'll come away from this experience with a little bit more knowledge. You know, maybe I could apply some of that stuff to flying in California or anywhere in the United States.